السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا Muhammad وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. All praise is due to Allah, and may Allah's peace and blessings be upon His final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Welcome again on another episode of this special series of Islamic Perspective, where we answer your questions specific to Ramadan, Zakah, and Umrah. We start seeking aid in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bismillah, and we start with the first question for today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can I pay my zakah in Ramadan? I have land that is currently under construction to build a house for rent. Is the land zakatable? طيب, alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. First question is, can I pay my zakah in Ramadan? So, zakah is, when is zakah paid? And can a person delay paying zakah, or can he pay his zakah forward? طيب, let's address this issue first. This is very important. When is zakah paid? Zakah is paid once the zakah threshold is met. So a person has money that is equal to the zakah threshold. Once this amount of money is under his ownership, then we start counting 12 consecutive lunar months. So what is the zakah threshold nowadays? Zakah threshold is 85 grams of 24 karat gold. 85 grams of 24 karat gold. You go online, you check what is the price of gold today. You'll get this number per gram of 24 karat. You multiply this by 85. This is considered the nisab. This is considered the nisab. And if your gold was 21 carats or 18 carats, you calculate accordingly. So 100% is 24 karat gold. Whatever is less, you calculate accordingly. So if it was less than 24, the nisab is not going to be 85, it's going to be more. So the nisab for 24 karat gold is 85 grams. So you get this amount. Let's say it's 20,000 for argument's sake. Let's say it's 20,000 dirhams. طيب. Now you have money in your bank account, 17,000. Should you start? Can you pay zakah now? Not accepted. You cannot pay zakah. Even you cannot pay zakah forward. Why? Because you do not have the nisab. The nisab is not established. The zakah threshold is not established. طيب. Now let's say, alhamdulillah, you got your salary, or someone gave you money, alhamdulillah. Now you have more than the zakah threshold. So you have in your bank account, for example, 25,000, or let's say 30,000. So 30,000 from today is in your bank account. Now you start counting 12 consecutive months, 12 consecutive lunar months. So you start counting. So after 2 months, the amount is in your bank account is still over 20,000. After 6 months, if the amount in your bank account is less than 20,000, even in one day, so in one day it got less than 20,000, you bought something, you had expenses, you bought something, spare parts for the car, this or that, certain expenses, school fees, okay, rent, anything, okay, it was deducted from your bank account. Now you have less than the nisab. Do you continue counting number of months? No, you stop. If it's below 20,000, you stop counting. Once you get money and it's 20,000 or more, you start counting a new hawl. Hawl is 12 consecutive lunar months. So let's say that 6 months or 9 months pass consecutive, and the amount in your bank account is more than 20,000. And subhanallah, it happens that it's Ramadan. So the nisab started, let's say 1-1, and now in the 9th month in Ramadan, you want to pay zakah. So the first condition is met. It was more than 20,000 for 9 consecutive months. So the nisab is there. But you're not obligated to pay zakah now. You have to wait. You may wait 3 more months, because you're in the 9th month. Until you reach 1 year, you have to wait 3 more months. 10, 11, 12. So the question here, now we answer your question. So for you to understand, can you pay zakah now? So you're going to be paying it forward. You still have 3 more months. So in 3 more months, what's going to happen? You might get more money, you might lose money. Okay, so we don't know. So in this case, you wanted, subhanAllah, in Ramadan, you found that everyone is giving zakah, and you found good opportunities, you found poor people طيب, that are in deep need, and you said, subhanAllah, this is Ramadan, and these are my neighbors, and I want to help them out now. You may pay the zakah now. So you write it down that on this date, you paid the zakah, and the zakah amount that you paid, for example, let's say it's whatever amount, whatever you paid is zakah. You have to intend it first that it is zakah money, and you have to pay it to a poor person. You cannot go and put it in a project for orphans or this or that. You have to pay it to a poor person because you're sure that it's going to be taken and given to a poor person. So if you know this person, give him the zakah money. Given that he is a Muslim, he has to be a Muslim. But you gave him this money. Now, after 3 months, okay, you calculate the amount that you have in your bank account. Let's say the bank account, you had 15,000 in the bank account. So you add 15,000 to the amount that you have paid to this person. What is the amount that you paid to this person? Whatever it was. Let's say whatever it was. You add them up and then you calculate your zakah. You calculate your zakah because this is the day that you should have paid zakah on, but you paid it before that. So when you calculated, it turned out less than what you have given. It turned out, for example, 4,000, for example, and you paid zakah 5,000. So here there are no issues. But what if when you calculated zakah, the amount of money that you had, you calculated zakah at the end of the year, it turned out to be 23,000. The zakah money that you have to pay turned out to be 23,000. And the amount that you gave was less than this. So you look at the difference of the amount, the difference between the actual zakah and the amount that you paid, and you have to pay this amount to the poor. It's like that. So this is one matter. Another matter here is that, let's say that a person has an amount of money that is more than the nisab, and it stays with him for one whole lunar year. So now, a person says, okay, now is Sha'ban. Do I have to pay it in Sha'ban or can I wait for Ramadan? I want to pay it to someone in particular. Can I pay it to him? Because Ramadan will have, I'll be meeting with poor people. I want to pay my zakah in Ramadan. Even though when you calculated it and 12 months have passed, it was going to be on the 1st of Sha'ban. Here you cannot delay. Here you cannot delay because it's of the benefit, it's the rights of the poor. You cannot delay the rights of the poor. Or you cannot say, well, I want to use this money to invest, and then the investment and the profit, I will give it to the poor. You cannot do this. This amount of money now belongs to the poor. The zakah belongs to the poor. You cannot delay it. You cannot delay it. You have to pay it directly and instantly. You cannot delay it. So this is my advice to you regarding paying your zakah in Ramadan. Now there's a follow-up question. He said, I have land that is currently under construction. So he's building something apparently on this land. So he said he's building a house for rent. He's building a house for rent. Is the land zakatable? So basically, the land and the house that you're building are not zakatable. Because in terms of land in itself is not zakatable. Unless it was, you had this land, you bought this land to sell. So you bought it and you're waiting for the price to increase and you have put advertisement. So you bought it with a certain amount and you want to sell it. So you have displayed this land, you have advertised that you want to have this land sold. And this land stayed for more than 1 year, then here in this case it can be zakatable. Because it's part of urud at-tijara, inventory zakah. Because it's a good that you have put on the market for sale. But in this case, it's a land that you have that's under your hand, and then also you're using it for yourself, or you have no intention, or you're going to build on it a house that you want to rent. Here, there's no issues with this. Houses that are made for rent is not zakatable. The land that you live in, or the land that you have that you want to give to some of your friends or some of your family members, or you want to build on it something for you, or a business, your business, and you want to rent or you want to build a business on it, this is not zakatable. The only way it can be zakatable if it was advertised for sale, and it stays for more than 1 year. This is the only way. This is the only way. Other than this, it's not zakatable. Wallahu alam. Let's move on to our next question. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. After returning home from travel, given that I broke my fast while traveling, do I need to abstain the rest of the day? طيب, alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. So the brother here is saying that, or the sister here is saying that, the person was traveling, and we know that the person who's traveling may break his fast without any issues. So the question is, he broke his fast and then he entered the country. And now during the day, so let's say he broke his fast and then he reached the country at 12 p.m., 1 p.m. Now he reached his country. Now he's a resident. Now he is considered a resident. So he's no longer a traveler. The question is here, can he still eat and drink, or does he need to abstain? First of all, if he reached a country other than his country and he's still going to be staying in this country, which is not, he's not a resident of, he's going to stay 1, 2, 3, or 4 days or less, he is still considered a traveler. He may still eat and drink, and he may break his fast without any issues. But if he returned back to his country where he is a resident in, طيب, and he did not intend to fast, and he already broke his fast, does he need to abstain the rest of the day? Similarly to what we said for a woman in her menses who reaches purity during the day. Do they need to abstain the rest of the day all the way to Maghrib? This is a matter of dispute among the scholars, and we mentioned that the opinion of the majority is that he needs to abstain the rest of the day. Now we said that some scholars said he does not need, طيب, and so if you have a fatwa from a scholar that you trust telling you that you don't need to do this, خلاص, follow this fatwa. طيب, but if you want to ask my opinion, what I see that the opinion of the majority here to abstain the rest of the day is safer. It's safer, wallahu a'lam, wallahu a'lam. Of course, he needs to make up this day. He needs to make up this day even if he abstained the rest of the day. So for argument's sake, let's say that he reached his country after Adhan, 1 hour after Adhan. But subhanAllah, he did not intend fasting and he was eating and drinking. Now he has to abstain all the way until Maghrib. Not only that, he has to make up this day. So it's better if he was going to enter to intend fasting. خلاص, and fast this day. To intend fasting from the night and fast this coming day if he's going to entering the blood to his place of residency, to secure fasting the whole day and to remove himself from dispute. Wallahu alam. طيب. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, I ate thinking Adhan did not start. Then I heard Iqamah. What to do? طيب. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. SubhanAllah, this happens a lot. So this person said, apparently he woke up and he's confused. Did the Adhan start or not? Or he assumed that the Adhan did not go. So he started eating and drinking. طيب, and then he discovered the Iqamah. So apparently now he is sure 100% that he ate after Fajr Adhan, after dawn. So what should he do? Here it is considered that his fasting is invalidated. Is it haram? Did what he do haram? He is excused because he did it out of ignorance. He did not know. He thought that Fajr Adhan did not start. But it turned out that Fajr Adhan did start. So here, what do we do? Does he need to make up this day? Definitely he needs to make up this day. Does he need to abstain the rest of the day? He needs to abstain the rest of the day. SubhanAllah, look at this. He needs to abstain the rest of the day. And this day he needs to make it up 1 day after Ramadan. Okay, he needs to make it up 1 day after Ramadan. So if it turned, take it as a general rule. If a person ate or drink thinking that, the time is not the time of fasting, and then it turned out to be the time of fasting, then he must make up this day. He must make up this day. It will not count for him. He must make up this day. Now, do differentiate between two matters. Where a person eats or drinks thinking that it is what? Thinking that it is night time. He thinking that still fasting time did not start. This is different. This is different than a person during fasting. He forgets and eats and drinks. If a person during fasting eats or drinks in a state of forgetfulness, if he forgot that he is fasting, In this case, the Messenger of Muhammad ﷺ said, فَإِنَّمَا أَطْعَمَهُ اللَّهُ وَسَقَى فَلْيُتِمَّ صَوْمَهُ فَإِنَّمَا أَطْعَمَهُ اللَّهُ وَسَقَى. The Messenger of Muhammad ﷺ said, in this case, it will be considered that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has fed him and he gave him to drink, and he should continue his fasting. He should continue his fasting without any issues, and he does not need to make up this fast. But if he ate or drink after Fajr Adhan, thinking that Adhan did not start, or he ate or drank before Maghrib, thinking that Maghrib Adhan started, and we hear this so many times. So what does he do now, Miskeen? Now in this case, subhanAllah, you ate before the time. You ate before the time. That's why, as an advice, protect your fasting. Make sure that you do not eat unless it is before Adhan, you're sure, or that after Maghrib Adhan, for sure. Don't guess. Don't guess. Preserve your fasting and protect your fasting, so that we do not end up in this situation. So the same thing can be said if a person ate or drank before Maghrib, thinking that Maghrib Adhan started. No, this person, this day will not be counted for him, and he has to make it up another day after Ramadan. Wallahu alam. Let's move on to our next question. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Is it permissible to take saline while fasting? It is mixed with other chemicals for a medical procedure. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. So this person here is saying, is it permissible to take saline while fasting? So saline, what is saline? Saline is a solution of water, minerals, sometimes glucose is added, and saline usually is injected into the vein. Saline is nutritious, because some people who have dehydration, if they're struggling with a fever, what do they give? They give saline with other medication so that it nourishes the body and it hydrates the body in this case. So definitely saline breaks the fast. There are details that we mentioned regarding this question. Inshallah, we'll continue answering this question tomorrow. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. جزاكم الله خيرا.